You know, I gotta say, in previous years, I've always been regretful because I start doing these build videos and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, it's great. And then only about 3/4 of it ends up getting done because we run out of time. This year, we're doing it backwards. It's like reverse engineering the haunt, pulling everything apart. So we're here in what was the catacombs. Now that there's a little more space here since we got all the skids out and we're about to dismantle, get it? The mantle's got to be taken apart. As we continue on here past the mantle, these catacombs were originally supposed to make a hard left and zigzag back, and then we were going to zigzag this way. Whoops. We're going to come across this way, and then when you came out here, the witch, her area was going to be quite a bit smaller, but it was going to be the same, just a miniature version. And then of course we ran out of time. All right, the witch's lair's gutted and I busted open that utility closet slash cluster mess. So this year we weren't running any kind of fancy light show. I was running the dripping blood though on the controller. So they all have like their own default settings. These these addressable LEDs is what they are. We weren't running any kind of ArtNet whatsoever on this. This was just addressable LEDs this year with their standalone controllers, but if you buy the fancy controller, they do a little bit more. And then these ones that I found here, they're actually quite easy to patch into if you want to give them their own data signal from a larger controller. So what I did last year was considerably different than what we did this year. This year was just the dripping blood running on a default. So this was the hall that was just a filler hallway. Didn't really have any time left. So all it got was the rock facade, and the ceiling, and the sides of the wall, and then it got the quad rope blue light. And actually when it was fogged up in there, it looked pretty cool. You can see how you come out this way. Quad. Down into the swamp. So I ran less cables actually and ran more batteries because I didn't hardwire everything. And the pros and cons of everything, well, we were open early, so now I wish everything was hardwired so that I didn't have to go and turn on all these ridiculous props and animatronics. But whatever, it's the nature of the beast, and that's why I try to hardwire all my stuff anyways. But literally this year, some of my props that are hardwired, I actually put the batteries back into them just because it saved a little bit of time. I still ran the ultrasonic proximity sensors on some of them though, and we'll get to that shortly. So, here in the studio, we got my normal security system here. Just ran the front door and above the garage. You can see the outside structure is still up, but we're kind of saving that for last, so for when I get the garage door back on. Virtual DJ was running my audio feeds this year. I really only had the one that was a composition of the thunder and then another thunder that I kind of patched together, but the one had a cooler video that you can actually put on a screen and mount somewhere. I didn't end up doing it this year, and that screen right there you're looking at was just kind of like my backup from when I'm going back and forth. But come on, everybody's double screening nowadays, aren't they? I see some people triple screening. That was our input to the security systems from our audio feed outside in the haunted house. So there's mics out there, they're plugged into this thing, and then this thing tells the security systems what to listen to instead of all the independent cameras messing around. Launchpad can always be used for stuff like this, or if you got the DJ equipment, the keyboard, drum pads, whatever, load up your scary sounds or whatever it is, but I spent too much time outside this year and that was good. Moving on. This was our unliving portrait that was playing, and that was in the grand hallway. And this is from the Feuding family, but I never had the time to do all three of them, nor do I have the space. So we just went with the crazy chick because her sequence is coolest of all, I think. This was our main audio feed mixer board. So that was just sending the audio feeds from here and whatever out to the garage, and anything that wanted a signal out there. Fog machine controller was here. I only used that on the Saturday and decided to go wireless on Sunday, being the Halloween. You can see a couple cables here. So when I have everything wired in, I always run a fresh, clean line to my high amperage equipment. So the big fog machine got its own plug, and then this would be the heater right here as well. Everything else in the garage was wired in accordingly, and there was no real big power draws, but those were the two big ones this year. And then the air compressor over here, which also had its very own plug-in. Air compressor was down here in the basement, and there was a spare tank riding shotgun with it just over there. All the air lines, and they all led out into the garage through that panel we cut in the first video. This old JVC here was running the lightning lights again from the audio feed from over here. Simple as that. A couple RCAs from our feed here with that thunder and lightning. And then this amp ran a cable out to the garage. And there is, I believe it's a 32 watt LED for trucks and trailers and stuff like that. And they work great, man.
3, nada.